Hi everybody, it's Dr. Bianca Ferlisi here, your friendly neighborhood vet, here to talk to you today about puppies. Whether you're getting a puppy, planning on getting a puppy, have a puppy, know someone with a puppy, I'm sure you can understand already that there's about a million things to think about, and my goal today is to help make that a little bit easier. I want to provide you with some information from credible sources and hopefully answer a few questions you might have and shed some light on some things to expect. I do want to emphasize a little disclaimer here that this is not to replace visiting the vet. You should always go with what your vet says, and this is not medical advice. This is just information that you can get on the web. I'm just condensing it, consolidating it, and hopefully presenting it to you in a nice, simple way. So congratulations on your puppy. You go to your first exam, and there's a lot to think about. So the first thing I want to shed some light on is vaccines. There's 4 major ones that most dogs will get in their lifetime. One of them is rabies. One of them is a combination vaccine for distemper, parvovirus, adenovirus, and parainfluenza. You have your bordetella or your kennel cough, and then leptospirosis, which is a bacterial disease. Now, not every dog might get all of these, and I think that's going to be up to you and your veterinarian to discuss which ones are important and which ones you might want to stray away from. But again, it's going to be very patient specific. I have attached the AHA vaccination guidelines that were published in 2017, just if you want to do some research on what are the vaccines, how do they work, when should they be given. This would be the best place to get that information, in my opinion. The second thing that's going to be really important is going to be parasite prevention. So that's your intestinal worms, heartworms, fleas, and ticks. A lot to think about there, and you'll notice, that's going to want to do some deworming, some fecals over the course of your dog's life. And I think that's really important. And what I've done is attached a reference to something called CAPC Vet, and that's kind of the hub of information that a lot of vets will refer to regarding parasites, internal and external. And they also have a guideline page, which I've included as well. I think that's going to be really helpful to understand why things are happening over and over again. It might seem redundant, but there is a reason for why. The next thing is going to be spaying and neutering your puppy. Neutering is when we remove the testicles, and spaying is when we remove the ovaries and the uterus. And there's a lot of pros to doing both of these procedures, and then there's a lot of kind of pros and cons on the timing of when we do these. So I think that depending on your animal, their health status, your lifestyle, and a bunch of other factors, you should have that conversation with your vet as to when is a good time. I've included the AHA guidelines for that as well. Like I said, there's no cookie cutter, black and white. All of medicine is going to be very gray, and it's going to be about working with your vet to determine what is the best option. And then finally is going to be setting yourself up for success. Puppies are very amenable, and it's really important to desensitize them at a young age. So things like playing with their ears, playing with their gums, playing with their paws, making all of these not a big deal. Because later on in life, when you need to clean the ears, when you need to brush the teeth, when you need to do the nail trim, if they've already encountered being handled in a certain way, they're not going to think of it as a big deal. But if you have a 2-year-old dog that all of a sudden has dental disease and you need to start toothbrushing, if they've never experienced that before, it's going to be a much more difficult transition for the most part. Some dogs might not care. But I think if you can set yourself up for success from the get-go, it's better. Another thing is going to be looking into insurance, talking to your vet about what insurance policies they have the best success with. Because at the end of the day, you don't want money to get in the way of providing care to your pet. So I think having that conversation with your vet is really important as well. If you'll notice, a lot of what I've mentioned refers back to talking to your vet. And I think that with puppies in particular, creating that relationship is so incredibly important. You want to build trust with your vet. You want to know that you can call them when you have a question. You can send them an email. So I think kind of the big picture take-home message from today, although I'm providing you with some resources to do your own research, the biggest research you can do and the most important is going to be on a vet that you can trust and that you get along with, has styles that parallel with what you're looking for, because they're going to be the person who's providing the care for your dog. And that's going to be important, down the line. You want to make sure that you trust them. So at the end of the day, when you're getting a puppy, make sure you feel out the vets around you. Look at the cost of service, because a lot of vets have their specific costs. And if you're uncomfortable with that, again, you're not going to build that relationship. So Please look in the information below for all of the websites that I have just discussed. If there's anything unclear, please shoot me an email or a comment below. I'm happy to go over it. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.